Hey YouTube, my name is Gawd, and you're watching Gawd Cafe. So today we're going to do a video on Uranus in the 12th house. So the planet of Uranus, if you guys don't know, is the ruler of Aquarius. And Uranus is basically the higher intellect. It's the Speedy Gonzalez thoughts, kind of, the rapid thoughts that come in and out. It's the, anything that ties into the world, being a humanitarian, unconventional, going against the grain, really embracing individuality is what Uranus represents. Uranus also represents, uniqueness, unique changes, unique events occurring, unusual. It's the energy of the unusual, surprise, the energy of surprise. And then you pair this with the 12th house. So the 12th house is the house of Neptune, the house of Pisces, ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. Primarily Neptune is the 12th house. And here, when you piece the two together, you have Aquarius and Pisces ultimately coming together. So you have the last two signs coming together. So I do think that this placement is pretty spectacular. Reason being is that you guys embody this awareness that is not it's unusual. Your intellect is wrapped within the realms of Neptune. So you have a deep understanding and higher knowledge over manifestation, the unknown. You have an understanding of art. You perhaps know how to dissect art to its core. You probably are an artist yourself. You perhaps understand art to a degree that you're able to restructure it and mold it into something else, like clay. You're able to maybe hear an instrumental and know what to do with it. It could be a painting. You take a painting that you hated or someone else hated, and you may know how to rebrand it into something else. So I do feel like this is a sign that is inquisitive and almost loves the challenge of those thinking that it's not possible and making it possible. So this is why I really like this placement, because it's so amazing when you pair this into any career, especially the arts. I think this is the placement that you guys don't need the 9 to 5, because what your awareness brings into this life lends itself to so much more than that. And I know it could feel, like a little scary to step out. And if you are working on 9 to 5, perhaps you're supposed to approach it in a unique way. If you aren't already, you probably do. I don't think Uranus can stay put too long. So perhaps you like to, you love to, this is the intellect. So you probably love to talk about the subconscious a lot, because that's also the 12th house. So you probably you really do enjoy those deep connections and those deep talks. Because the 12th house is the depths of the depths. So when you have Uranus here, you are willing to really dive into the depths of the depths. And being that the 12th house is also considered the void, where all things exist. Creativity, spirituality, you name it. It's like this considered the house as, the leftover house. The reason being is because all that is and isn't need a place, and that's where the 12th house is. It's everything and nothing all at once. So it's nothing, but it's a blank canvas inviting all of everything. So that's kind of what the 12th house is. It could be nothing completely, just peaceful. Then it could just become a canvas and attract everything, So Uranus here Uranus is gonna have fun here. I think Uranus would have fun here. Uranus is gonna make it a journey, an adventure while doing so. Now, of course, with any perspective, it's based off your perspective. Because if you are in a lower, vibration based off of things that you go through, perhaps you may dilute yourself and kind of like cause delusion because of over intellectualizing things. So perhaps maybe saying things that aren't there, and it's mixed with things that are. So that's where it can feel a little confusing, and it's very Neptunian in 12th house, that this would occur. So it's what Neptune does. It's the Pisces is two fish swimming opposite directions. So in that, your Uranus will operate this way because it's in the house where this occurs. So although Uranus is not like that itself, Uranus may see that what it thought it knew, it may not have fully known, because the 12th house is like that. It's it's going to show itself a certain way, and with time you'll really see what it is. So very interesting. And it just goes to make, because I have, just to relate to you guys, I have Uranus and Neptune conjunct my sun. So having that placement makes me conscious, since it's my sun, about how Uranus and Neptune work together. So I already know that this placement is a great placement, because I see the ideas I have are pretty amazing sometimes to me, that I'm like, oh, wow, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know who's putting this in my head, but I'm not just born knowing these things. You know what I mean? Like, so Uranus will do that, which is amazing. And then when you tie it in with Neptune, it will intellectualize spirituality on the deepest level to humanity known. And now everyone's going to have that relationship with God and, or the universe, whoever you want to believe in. And everyone's going to have that connection. So on that level, you could be faithful and spiritual and all that stuff, but to actually have such a profound relationship with the universe, where you feel the energetic exchange, the communication without words, just your life showing itself the way you want. This is what it starts to look like. So you have to tap in and really see how you can be more resourceful. Yes, being more resourceful with what comes at you in the 12th house, utilizing Uranus. So kind of like the example I made about the paint. Let's say there's like a painting that you hated and you're about to throw it out. Like, it's right next to the trash. Right next to the trash. You were painting, you're over it, you're like, oh, I don't think painting's for me, right? Because you just didn't have a good day the other day. You may wake up the next day, and now, because this is how Neptune works, the weather is different energetically every day for Neptune. Well, just the world, right? It's just the way the world works. But because the 12th house is very sensitive to the universal energy, it affects it more than most houses and the planets in it. So Uranus being here likes to jump around within the 12th house. So there's going to be a lot of things you want to entertain within the 12th house. So you'll have, this could make you a jack of all trades, but not at the same time, because of your understanding being so thorough that your ability to execute is there. However, you don't have all the time in the world. So you may have a lot of projects that you are entertaining and don't have enough time for. And so you're going to have to probably make like some sort of timestamp checklist to see what makes the most sense to entertain and prioritize first. So, whatever that means with it, like, how does this map out the big picture of your life? See how the timelines can like connect in terms of your projects and maybe somehow overlap and combined. You have a book and maybe a podcast, and you're like, what do I do? I want to do the podcast and I want to put out the book, but which one should I pay attention first? Maybe the podcast will, attract an audience, for then you can put out the book, and actually have some sort of reaction towards the product that you've created with the book, you know? Or, you know, if you want to get the book out the way and that feels right to you and you just want to have the book there, a link there, so that every time you put out a video, the book is there for anyone who wants it. Both are accurate. It's just about what comforts you to take the next step, you know? What is it going to take, you know? The next step, you know, what do you really need to move forward, and just giving yourself that, you know? So, hold on. It's a little personal note. Okay, what else? What should you guys, okay, so when it comes to projects, that's what you guys should do. When it pertains to people, let's get into relationships here. Even though it's not a house of relationships, all our planets have to, you know, just affect us. So the perception within, you know, because it's your higher intellect, so your higher understanding, Uranus. Uranus reminds me if Jupiter and Mercury came together. Expansive thinking, but detailed, you know? So that's kind of what Uranus reminds me of. So here, because this is the 12th house, it's very expansive. You know, Jupiter is also the ruler of the 12th house, aside from Neptune. So it's expansive belief, creativity, big ideas, and Uranus lives for this. What's amazing about Uranus here is that it could clear up the details in which you have to act in order to make this happen. This is why I think it's a phenomenal placement. Absolutely amazing. Pat yourself in the back. Thank the universe. I have no, like, I'm trying to think of, like, the cons that could occur here. Okay. So the negative sides to Uranus in the 12th house, you know, this can be someone who likes to maybe play games with people's, you know, like, it's someone who could be silly and playful, you know, and not mean to be too playful, but you guys can maybe take it further sometimes and be too playful where, you know, it's not funny to everyone else, but it's just funny to you. Like, it may be a fucked up joke, but it's like a real raw fucked up joke, and you're over here like laughing about it, saying it, and it's a gag. So that could be something that can occur, having Uranus here. Because because you know, the 12th house could be a jokester, then the Uranus likes to bounce a lot and be silly and wild and, you know, unique and different, and it really embraces that. So for shits and giggles, Uranus will do stuff, even if it's not good, but it's just for shits and giggles. However, this can cause, you know, turmoil with other people and individuals that are unnecessary to have, and also burn bridges if individuals think you don't take them serious enough, you know, because although you may not fully take certain things as serious as others, you do have a seriousness to life. So you have to kind of understand that, you know, the things that you're serious about, although it may not be what other people are serious about, you have to respect what other people are serious about. Because if you are going to vouch for loving uniqueness, you have to love even people's uniqueness when it doesn't line up with what you want to do. You know, it's just what it is. Anyway, this is Uranus in the 12th house. My name is Gawd. You're watching Gawd Cafe. Until next time.